Heat, Pedal to the Metal is a racing and hand management game released in 2022 and designed by Asger Harding Granerud and Daniel Skold Peterson with art by Vincent Dutray. The goal is to be the first to finish the race by playing cards each turn, managing the heat in your engine, handling the stress in your deck, and taking advantage of your position in the pack to make smooth turns, while still going flat out on the straightaways. To set up, select a track and place it in the middle of the table. Each player chooses an available color and takes the matching car, player mat, gear marker, and deck of cards. A number of heat and stress cards are given to each player as determined by the selected track. Each player puts all of their heat cards face up on the engine space of their mat and then shuffles their deck, including stress cards, drawing a hand of 7 cards. Their gear marker starts at the 1 position on their mat. All active cars are randomly placed in the starting grid for the track. There is no starting player, only a current leader. In Heat, Pedal to the Metal, players take on the roles of high-octane racers, tearing around tight corners and speeding down the track to be the first to cross that finish line. The game is played over a variable number of rounds, which are broken down into 9 steps for each player. Shift gear, play cards, reveal cards to move, check for adrenaline, react to certain card symbols, check for slipstream, check cornering, discard cards, and draw back to 7 cards. While the first 2 steps are performed at the same time for all players, the remaining steps are done one player at a time, starting with whomever's car is leading, and then moving to the back of the positions. The cards played usually have a speed value on them, which is how many spaces the car will move, with the real meat of the game coming down to playing well-timed, low-value cards at corners, so you don't spin out, and then high-value everywhere else. Some actions, such as changing gears by 2 steps instead of 1, or going too fast around corners, require heat to be paid from the engine into the player's discard pile. Push too hard, and you'll find yourself with too many non-speed cards in hand, and an engine too cooled off to do any good. The game ends once any player crosses the finish line on the final lap, length determined by the track chosen, but feel free to play a few more rounds to see who comes in second, third, etc. I love speed. Some of my earliest memories are of operating anything with wheels that I could get my hands on. Whether it was my grandfather's riding mower or my well-used big-wheel tricycle, I don't regret a single crash. If I could steer it, I could race it. Heat offers a taste of that in a tabletop game using a creative and engaging hand management mechanic. Having to balance the conditions of your vehicle against the cards you want and need to play almost always makes for close and thrilling games. And pulling off that sweet combo of drafting around a curve, whipping past the leader, and slamming it into high gear is as satisfying for you as it is frustrating for your opponents. Whether playing a single track or going for a world tour, there are plenty of fresh ways to play Heat, and I keep coming back for just one more race. If you think you can keep up, hop on in and turn the key. After all, I'm always game.